and good evening. I hope everyone is doing well. My name is Dr. Keisha, and I am the owner and operator of IM Global, Impacting Mindsets Global, and IM Global Dating. Welcome to the broadcast. Welcome to the broadcast. This particular broadcast will feature our service of matchmaking. For those that may not know, I'm Global is I'm Global or Impacting Mindsets Global, right? That is the name of the company. That's the name of the brand. I'm Global. That's me. I am the face of the brand. And as a result, we provide many services. We provide coaching. I like to refer to myself as a soul coach. So we provide coaching. Coaching can be personal development. It could be educational. It could be relationship oriented. It just expands. It's just expansive. Okay, so the coaching is very broad, but we do provide all types of coaching, as well as Christian counseling. We also provide Christian counseling. We provide Christian counseling, premarital counseling, postmarital counseling. We do provide that as well as family counseling and mental health counseling. I am also a motivational speaker. I do provide that as well. And in the dating realm, we provide matchmaking for those that may not know. I know we have the dating website, which is another service that we provide for those that are a part of the community. So glad to have you. Welcome to the community for those that are new. And you're getting acquainted with the brand, with I'm Global brand and the Impacting Mindsets brand. We do provide matchmaking. So today I want to focus on the service of matchmaking. Now, one of the main reasons why we wanted to build the website is not only for people to kind of independently go and meet and greet and become a part of the dating community, but we also wanted to use it as a tool to put our clients in so that we can better match them based upon the information that they provide in the system. So it's kind of twofold. On the one hand, it's for our consumers, our daters that kind of want to go on their own and discover love, make connections, and also for those that need help, that need assistance, that want help. I would like to say the people that would need help or want help are those that are busy. It's not that you can't find someone on your own. It's just you don't have the time. You don't have the time. You don't have the energy. Let's say you are a CEO, you're a boss, you're a president of something, or you're a high profile person. And so it's harder to find someone when you're high profile, when everyone is pretty much interested in you. And so we do provide the service. So I just wanted to put it out there for those that may not know so that you are aware that we do provide the service. So now I'm going to do the presentation so that I can talk more about the service that we provide, which is the I'm Global Matching Service. All right. Thank you so much for your patience and thank you so much for tuning in. So this is our informational session. We often do this when we have a meet or greet, we have a meet greet, or we have an event where we're trying to do recruitment for people to become a part of our dating platform, our dating website. So welcome to the session. If you have any questions, you can definitely ask or you can put it in the comments. You are welcome to have those questions. You can present them and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you may have. Now, I'm the matchmaker, right? I hold many hats. I have many hats. But this is me. I'm Dr. Keisha, and I am the administrator of our website. I am the owner of the company and also the face of the brand. Okay, so my name is Dr. Keisha, Dr. Keisha Capers, Dr. Keisha Capers Diaz. Now, here's the problem. I think we all are all on the same page with this. Finding a suitable match is like searching for a needle in a haystack, right? It's hard to find someone suitable. It's not hard to find someone, right? But it's definitely harder to find someone suitable or someone who is compatible. How do we do that? Well, we have to kind of put ourselves out there, get out there and date, mix and mingle, constantly putting ourselves in a position to meet someone new. It can be exhausting, right? It's extremely exhausting putting yourself in a situation where you're constantly meeting new people, trying to figure out who's suitable, trying to figure out who's compatible. It's difficult, right? It's draining. And so that's why a lot of people, you know, kind of get disheartened. They're kind of getting tired of the challenge and, getting their heart broken, or if they're putting their heart into it, or their hopes are made high, or, they're thinking, oh, well, this is it, or this is the one. And to discover that's not the one. And again, that's very draining. It's very disheartening because it doesn't often work out. And so it's sad and it is unfortunate. And so that's the problem and that's the challenge. However, I'm Global's matching service is a solution. It is one of many ways and methods by which we can help you. And what's interesting about the whole matching thing, which people often get confused, is that they look at the matching service like it's an arranged marriage, which is totally different, because with the matching service you can decide. You always have a choice. As a matter of fact, we start out with your preferences and then we go from there. So we're looking for what you want. And so the matching service is quite different than an arranged marriage, where you don't really necessarily have a say per se. You kind of had a say, but you don't have a say. I mean, obviously you can decide to go against the wishes and the will of your parents. For those that understand or know about the traditional, arranged a marriage concept, usually they can decide, but they don't usually have an option in terms of who they decide. When the family decides, or they've already made a pact, or some type of agreement with another, maybe wealthy family or another religious family, they kind of often go along with it because they don't want to dishonor their parents or dishonor their family's name. So they usually go along with it. I know we see a lot of movies where, they go against the odds or against the grain, and they go against their family because they want to find love. We see that. But for the most part, when it's an arranged marriage, they usually go along with it. That's not this, not at all. We usually go based upon what you provide in terms of information about your preferences, and we build on that. So we do the legwork. We're the headhunters. We're the ones that are finding someone special for you. That's a part of what we provide. It's a concierge service, essentially, for dating. But it's not just for dating. We want to definitely take it up a notch or two. So this is how we can help in this whole process with this service. We know that it's difficult to find that special someone, and so we want to be of assistance. So this is what we do. We partner with you. Essentially, again, by gathering information from you. We need you to be on board with this process. We cannot work independent of you. We have to work with you. So we partner with serious clients who are looking for Mr. or Mrs. Right. Again, this is not just for the sake of dating, for the sake of dating, but it's for those that are actually looking for partnership, long term, something that's going to lead to marriage, right? And so what we do is we actively recruit and screen suitable matches, is what we do. So again, consider us, a dating, concierge service is what we do here. We're the ones that's going out looking for you and narrowing down your options for you to decide who you would like to date and take it to the next level. Now, again, that's your job. Our job is to find, and your job is to choose, right? Your job is to choose whether you're a male or female. I think, in the biblical sense, the Bible says that he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing. That is true. But once she's found, she does have a decision to make in the process. When the servant of Abraham went to go look for Isaac's wife, she had to decide to whether she was going to go along with it or not. So even though you're being found, or whether you're looking for someone, everyone has their will, right? They have a free will as to whether they want to be a part of the process or not. And so we like to tell our clients that. So whether you're a female, let's say if you're a female client, If you're a female client, yes, you're looking to be found, but we'll find that male, but it's up to him to pursue you. So once we find him and you agree that these are the matches or someone that you're interested in getting to know better, the ball will still be in the man's court to, make the first move, to arrange the date, to take you out, to date you, to get to know you. So even though you may be the client looking for that mate, we're kind of flipping the script. We're still not taking the power away from the man, or the obligation to look or to pursue away from the man. He still has to make the first move. He still has to, decide if he wants to pursue you. And so we're not stripping that away from him. And I think people get that really twisted when they hear about services like this. And it's the female that's the client. And I said, well, how is that? The Bible says, because this is a very much a faith-based, service, again, that we're providing. Now, I will and I do provide matching for people that are not of faith, but specifically to people that are of faith, we do understand the religious component to it, and how we do have a core value that men are the ones that should do the finding. And so in that context, you can still be found. We're just seeking out the males and kind of helping out the process, almost as if we're like servants of Abraham, finding Isaac's wife. Isaac had to agree when she was brought to him as to whether he was going to accept her. And then also, Rebecca had to decide as to whether she was going to go along with it or not. So everyone still has, a decision to make as to whether they're going to go along with it, regardless of who's doing, you know what I mean, the finding. The couple, the individuals still have to make a decision as to what they're going to do and how that process is going to work itself out. So here's the process that we usually do or incorporate when finding people. What we do is we look at compatibility and we look at suitability. And that's why the website is so important, because when people begin to, put in their information, such as your height, your weight, the type of person that you're interested in, your interests, your background, your social economic status, and that sort of thing. When you begin to enter that information into the system, in the rubric, it tells exactly us who would be compatible, who would be the most compatible to you, and so or with you. It will tell us that in the system. It just makes life easy for me. And so that's part of why we created the website, is to help out with the matching, not necessarily just for dating and dating alone, but and however, while you're there, you definitely have that option to try to find love on your own, but you don't have to, because we do have a matching service. Okay. So what we look at is we gather information from our clients, such as physical attractiveness, again, the physical aspect, height, weight, the type of look that you are usually attracted to. Everyone has a type. Now, I will say this, a physical type, but and however, sometimes the mental or sometimes the character or the personality will outshine the physical. So we don't like to limit it to the physical, but we do understand that that does play a role. It does play a part for the initial attraction. You have to be at least attracted to the person. But what I've learned, and this is based upon my experience, I've been with some extremely physically attractive people, but once I've got to know them, I was turned off by them because their personality either was flat and or they were conceited, and that's a turnoff for me. For me, if a person is too much into themselves, it makes them unattractive, right? Even though they are physically attractive. So once they open up their mouth and you start having some interaction with them, it becomes a turnoff for me. And I believe that that's probably the general consensus across the board. And so we don't want to stay there, but we definitely want to know, what is your usual type? Give me some pictures of your exes. What did they look like? Now, again, there are some people that may be, they may not necessarily have a physical type, but they do have an intellectual type, or they'll have a social economic type, or there's types in terms of morals and or values and core beliefs. And so those are the types of things that we'll be gathering in terms of information for our clients. Okay, so we have that aspect, and then we want to know, what are your likes, what are your dislikes, what are you interested in, what is your personality type. That's important too, because that's also a component by which we can use to match you as well. What is your mindset in terms of what your gender roles, or what do you think a gender role is? What is your definition? What role do you play in a relationship? That's good to know as well. And your responsibility in a relationship, what that is. And then what we're looking for, which is right in the middle, is your spiritual compatibility. We're looking to see if the vision that you have is compatible. Your love languages, if the love languages are compatible, as well as your emotional needs. There's some people that may be aware of what emotional needs are. There are a lot of people that don't. And so we help out with that, where we test you and we figure out, and of course we inform you. And that's the beauty of this process. I think when you go through this process, you'll become more self-aware than you've ever been before. So even if nothing else, you will grow as an individual, which I believe that we'll find your suitable partner. But at the end of the day, going through this process will be an extremely helpful for you on a personal level in terms of growth and development. Now, listen, we need to build a profile. That's why it's important that we have the website. So we would have all of our clients register into the website and make sure that you put as much information as you possibly can with within that website, like not to leave anything on any stone unturned. Provide all the information that's needed. So you're going to build a profile, and then I'll also continue to build a profile, create one for you off the website as well. So we'll create a file for you, again, common interest areas that you need to grow as well, because that's important. Now, within that profile, as we're looking for your person, we're going to be looking at their profile first, right? And then we're going to try to discover some matches. We're going to try to determine if you two are compatible and if you're suitable for one another, right? Based upon the information that was provided, based upon the questions that were asked, this is what we're going to come up with, some type of graph to see exactly if you are compatible or suitable or not. Now, how can you get started? Now, what I like to do is I like to start everybody free. I think that's a good thing, because, yes, you should invest in your process, and you will, but for the initial start, and because we're still growing as a company, we'd like to start out free. So the one thing is, you need to subscribe to the I'm Global website, which is our dating website. It starts there. Complete a dating preference survey, which I do have and I will provide. Attend an information session. You'll need to either have a one-to-one with me, or whether it be a group focus group, but you definitely need to attend an information session. Why? Because you need to understand what the process involves before you sign up for it, and that only makes sense. If you make a referral, and this is what we strongly recommend, because we're always looking for people to match, whether it's in our dating website or whether it's individuals. So we're always asking for people to make referrals. And our business is built on referrals. And that is the truth, because oftentimes, especially when it comes to serious candidates, because it's hard to really, know if somebody's really serious, or whether they're doing it, again, just because they just want something, short term, or whether they're doing it for the long haul. But when we know that if they're being recommended by somebody that knows that somebody, right, it just makes sense. So a lot of our clients, oftentimes my whole business is really at the core of it, at the root of it, is really built on referrals. So if you make a referral, you will get a discount. So let's say you're in our system, and let's say you're having some challenges finding that Mr. Right or that Mrs. Right, you can get a discount off the service. Again, that's an option, and or you can either get a discount off a service. So you can get a discount off this service, which is the matching service, if you choose to go that route, or you can get a discount off of any service that Impacting Mindsets Global provides. And we do provide many different types of services. Once you become a client, again, there's a finder's fee, there's a finder's and a processing fee involved. All right. And we'll let you know what that is for those that are only interested. Again, only serious clients should apply. If you're not serious and this is not something that you want to invest in, then we just strongly recommend that you go the cheaper route, which is to register for our website for free, which is the IM Global Dating website. Register for free, and then when you're ready, you can upgrade it, or when we're ready for you to upgrade, depending on where you land. If you are a male, you can upgrade as soon as we get that set up. We don't have it. We don't have that area completely set up, and that was intentional because we wanted everybody to register for free, and we didn't want everybody to get started until we had enough people where you can have more of a larger picking. But now that we're growing as a community, and I want to say shout out to all those that are new to the community, we're almost 60 people strong within the dating website. And that's phenomenal, being that we just literally started a couple of months ago. And so that's phenomenal, being we're not one of the big names. We're not Tinder. We're not Christian Mingle. We're not eHarmony. We're just coming. We're baby babies. We're baby baby. We're brand new. Okay. So that's saying something. And all of this is by referral. Like I said, this is how we're building. So we definitely need you guys to continue sharing it with your friends and family. We're lacking in the area of men. Unfortunately, that's always been an issue. No matter what circle you go into, there's usually more women than there are men. So we want to increase our database with more men that are ready and available and open to finding love. All right. So once you're ready, if this is the service that you're interested in, there is a finder's and a processing fee. Clients are interviewed and screened. That's important because, again, we don't want to set you up for failure, nor do we want to be failures. Meaning that if your goals and your objectives, if they're so high and unattainable, we're not going to even proceed or even try to do something that's nearly impossible. For example, if you have, this idea that you need to marry someone who's rich, or famous, and it's just outside of the realm of possibility, we'll just decline or just, opt not to take you on as a client. And I think we reserve that right not to take clients in, just like you reserve the right to not be a client. I think that's fair. So if you're unreasonable with your expectations, we'll just decline and just, maybe just recommend that you go your own route, which is through the website, through the dating website, independently of our service. If that's, if you're on that level in terms of your expectations. But if you have reasonable expectations, we're definitely, we welcome you with open arms. And again, our potential matches are also interviewed, screened, and they're added to the database. So as we find folks, again, we're headhunters, so we're looking for folks to add. We're looking for potentials for you. When we find those potential matches, they will be interviewed as well as screened. All right. Now, match couples will be given a data analyst, which includes a picture and contact information. So once we decide, okay, you know what, we have these guys for you or females for you, you will have a chance to see a picture of them and also to see just why we matched you, right? That's the data. That's the analyst. You're going to be able to see that for yourself. And then from there, you decide, you can pick one or two, start out with one, and then, see if that works out. If not, then you can go to the next or whatever. But it's usually one at a time. We don't want to send you on too many dates at once, but we definitely want to set you up with one. The match couples will be given the opportunity to choose, right? if they want to, or if they're going to agree to be matched or to go on a date with said person. And then after which, again, whether the female, is our client or whether the male is our client, the male will reach out and set up the meeting. So that's where the script gets flipped. You could be the female client. We can find your matches. You pick who you're interested in, and then they will also choose you too. That's important. We don't just choose them and then kind of put them under a blind kind of situation. They will have a chance to choose you too, right? And after which, okay, because we don't want you to fail. We don't want it to be a blind setup where you meet each other and then, no, we want everyone to see at least a picture and at least see the analyst as to why we're matching you so that you can choose each other. After which, even though you're the female client, the male has to be the one to set up the meet, and he'll have to do that within 48 to 72 hours. All right. Now, usually, the expectation is that they'll do it right away. They'll give you a call and then they'll try to set up something, and you guys can go out on your first date. Okay. And again, this can be done online, or at least your first conversation, your first meet, but we like for people to try to, have that in-person interaction if at all possible. We do understand that COVID is obviously going to be, a hindrance to a lot of folks. And if it's a long distance situation, that may be as well. But if you can do an over the phone kind of situation or a video chat or something where you're able to at least start having conversation and schedule something that you can actually get together offline, to determine if there's some type of chemistry. Now, if the match is successful, couples will be offered a couples assessment after 6 months. So let's say the match is successful, meaning you like each other. You went out on a few dates and now you decided that you wanted to just date each other and you don't want to date anyone else and you're completely satisfied. After 6 months of dating, I'm going to check in with you, just to see how things are going, and I'm going to offer a couples assessment that will go along with the fee that is provided. And so you'll be provided with a couples assessment, and that way, if it really gets serious, you'll know what areas you guys are completely matched and or areas that you need to grow. Okay, that's the purpose of the assessment. Again, the purpose for this service is to help people find that Mr. or Mrs. Right. And so that's why we offer a couples assessment after 6 months, is because we want people to get married. That's what we're trying to do. We're not trying to introduce you to someone that you're going to be with short term, but the objective is for you to be connected long term, and that it would lead to marriage. And so we offer a response of the evaluation. So essentially, after we provide the assessment, we walk through it with you, and then I can offer premarital counseling sessions as well as postmarital. I am certified as a Christian counselor. I do provide, and I have a service of premarital counseling as well as postmarital counseling, and we use an assessment evaluation, which we will provide for free. So if it gets to the place where you guys get engaged and all that wonderful stuff, or it gets so serious whether you want premarital counseling, we can provide that as well. And wouldn't that be a wonderful full circle moment? Like literally, we help you to find, or help to facilitate your find of your match, and then you do match, and then you get to the place where you're ready to get married and we're there to help. That would be awesome. And so we do encourage that all of our clients, that you trust God and that you enjoy the process, because it's a process, right? It's always a process. So the matching services is still in the early phases of development. We're always developing. We're growing as a business. We're growing as an agency. So we are growing, and so we want people to be just like you want us to be patient with you during the process, because it is a process. So we have to be patient with that process, and then we also want you to be patient with us. Okay, so we work closely with our clients, very closely. And so what we'll do is we're going to only work with a small group of people at a time. We're not going to do a whole lot of folks because we want to ensure that whatever energies we put out there will be worth it. And more people you have, the more, work that you're going to have to do. And so it would be a disservice if we have so many people, somebody's going to be neglected. And so we don't want to do that. So we just want to encourage everyone to be a part of the database and yeah, registered for the online dating community, which is the I'm Global Dating. That would be a great start. Whether you're a person that wants to be matched or you want to do it yourself independently, we recommend that everybody goes through the dating website, and we use that as a tool, even for people that we're matching, because it just helps the process. Right, my phone number is there. Obviously, the website for the business, which is Impacting Mindsets Global, that's where that I'm Global comes from. We do business as I'm Global, but it is an LLC under Impacting Mindsets Global, and then it's I'm Global and different services is what we do provide. As well as the email, you can contact me that way, which is Impacting Mindsets Global at gmail.com. And then you can also go to our dating website, which is imglobaldating.com, to register into that dating community. All right. So here's to God, friendship, and long lasting love. I'm super duper excited about the service. I was excited when God first gave me the vision to do it. So I just kind of wanted you guys to know that that is an option for those that just don't want to just do it. Because again, of time constraints, you're busy and or you're high profile. If you're high profile, let's say if you're a pastor or if you're a minister, or let's say you're a CEO, again, we get it. It's even more challenging when you're high profile. Um, it is more challenging to find someone because you're sought after, and it's more difficult. It's like, do they want me for me, or do they want me for what I can provide, or do they want me for my influence or connections or money? And it's understandable. I mean, and so therefore, if you're having someone help you with this process by narrowing down your search. And we don't have to tell who you are right off. Eventually, they'll know. But from the onset, we're just going to provide the data, and then eventually, when it comes time, for them to see you, they'll know. But up until that point, they won't. They'll just see the paper side, what the analyst says about you, and then make a choice. And then we'll show them the photo after which, because I think that, again, we don't want people to be triggered based upon the physical only, but it's important to know who they're connecting to in terms of a personality, core values and beliefs, and, actual data, that's going to determine your suitability, not just chemistry, which is important, but chemistry cannot be maintained if everything else is not divinely connected. So that's important to know. All right. And so I believe this pretty much concludes the presentation. Just to kind of give you a general overview in terms of the costs and the breakdown of the cost, the cost is online. That's by intention. I'm intentionally not putting the cost here because we only want people that are serious to inquire about the service. If you're not serious, it's just pointless to put every detail about the service down because there's so much more. But here's a general overview in terms of where the cost comes from. Why do we decide on the cost that we're deciding? First of all, there's the processing. The mere fact that we have to process everyone that comes in, and we have to interview, spend time getting to know them so that we can have good choices when we're out on the field doing recruitment. So the process is important. Again, that's from beginning to end, and even all in between. Beginning and all in between, the grind that's required even before you come into the picture, the legwork that's happening, and the constant work that's happening to try to make this successful. So that part, obviously the recruitment, because the recruitment, it's a little bit more challenging during a pandemic, obviously, than it would be outside of a pandemic. So the recruitment is a little bit more challenging, but we're definitely up for the challenge. So that's part of the cost. The investigation and the interview, of course, we want to vet, each and every person, whether it's the person that we're serving or the person that is being selected to be a potential. We have to investigate everybody and we have to interview them. So obviously that requires time. So not only do we interview you and we get to know you and all your likes and dislikes, but we have to get to know the people, that we're considering as a potential um, a potential match. We have to interview them as well. And then there's the coaching component because again, yeah, selecting one person is half the battle, but how do you keep them? Like, how do you navigate through the dating process? Once we make that connection, can you seal the deal? What I've noticed is that some people will have a challenge with that, even if we select the right somebody for them, they're going to have a challenge sealing the deal. So we do provide dating coaching. We do provide relationship coaching to help people along. Because what I've discovered is a lot of people need more support in that area because they don't know what to do once they found them, and they want to make sure that they're making all the right choices, especially if they're trying to win them over. So we do provide coaching, and that's a part of the cost as well. And then there's a finder's fee. Once we find the person, obviously we need a fee for finding them. So that's important. So there's the recruitment piece, which will be the legwork, going out there, discovering, and then there's the actual matching. Once we do narrow it down, making sure that person is available, making sure everything's in place, making sure we have all the information and all the processing. So there is a finder's fee. Now, there's a compatibility assessment, which I spoke about. Once you did find your match after 6 months, we do want to assess you. We want to assess the relationship. If this is serious and you want to take this to the next level, we can help you with that process. So there is a compatibility assessment, again, to determine not only that you're on the same page, but what areas do you need to grow? That's also equally important. And then also the assessment evaluation. The assessment evaluation is in two parts. And so that's why it's important, not only for you to obviously answer the questions so that we can get the stats, but we do need to walk through the process, which will be the evaluation component. Here are some other services that we provide that are not included, which is life coaching. What I've known, which I'm a soul coach, I love that because that's what I do. But what I like about it being kind of an all-in-one kind of service that we provide, all these multiple services that will be helpful during this process, is because what we will discover is, for example, there's some folks that had some challenges with setting up their dating profile and the challenges that they have with their self-image. And you may think, wow, that's that's huge to some people. So if you're struggling with self-image, or if you're struggling with self-esteem, or if you're struggling with, rejection, or whatever else that you're struggling with, that's that's going to hinder your connection or hinder you. If you found somebody, maybe you would fumble the relationship because you still have some personal inner work to do. And with that being said, if you know that about yourself, maybe it'll be a good idea for you to get some coaching, some personal development coaching, or some relationship coaching, or even mental health coaching or counseling. We do provide that. So I do provide life coaching. I do provide Christian counseling as well, because what I do notice that is if people don't get over the things from the past, it will hinder their present as well as their future. So we do provide that, but they may not even be aware that it's a problem until they start dating or until they start the process of trying to connect with people. And what will happen is things will flare up. They'll begin to notice some things about themselves and see that they've been triggered in the process. And if you're being triggered by the process, then that's a strong indicator that you need to do some self or personal development. So we're here to serve you if you need that as well. So that is a service that we provide, as well as inner healing. Believe it or not, we do have an inner healing service. Inner healing is a little bit different than coaching and counseling, but what we do is we combine the spiritual part as well as the coaching and the counseling. We provide all that in one. And that's what I would like to call inner healing. Because it's one thing to talk about your problems or to talk about the past, and then we provide insight in regards to why you're feeling the way you're feeling, whether it's CBT or whatever it is that we're providing to help you to see that it's a cognitive behavioral issue or whatever the case may be. There's a spiritual component as well. And so we deal with that to help people get that inner healing that they need. Most of the time, people that experience trauma or abandonment or rejection are folks that need the inner healing or some type of abuse. You need the counseling, but you also need the inner healing as well. That's I'm just telling you based upon my personal or professional assessment. And then we do provide motivational speaking. So if you have, let's say, a singles group that needs motivation, or it could be on any level, business, professional, education, nonprofit, or it can be relationship oriented. We do public speaking, motivational speaking as well. So those are services that we provide that are not included in the price. Questions. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I just wanted to give you a general overview of one of the other services that we provide, which is the matchmaking service outside of the website, for you to do your own exploration in dating. We do actually provide a matching for those that are, again, more high profile, or those that are so busy that you just simply don't have the time to really mix and mingle like you want to. It's not about, I can't find somebody because I'm lacking in this area or I'm not attractive. It's not about that. And even with the home online dating, sometimes it's even not about being unattractive, because guess what? There are tons of attractive people in the dating website. In the I'm Global dating website that we have almost 60 people, and they are gorgeous and they are beautiful women and handsome men in our website. And it's predominantly women. That's why we're trying to recruit more men. And I'm telling you, men, you'll be so happy that if you registered, you'll be so happy because there's a lot of options there. And like I said, from backgrounds to professional women to it's just there's a lot of options there to choose from. So we just want you guys to come on board and get to know us a little bit better, and for me to get acquainted with you. And yeah, so that's what we're here for. And I'm super duper excited about this journey. So yeah, that's it. That concludes the presentation on Global Matchmaking Service. If you have any further questions, or if you would like to make a comment, feel free to make a comment on the video below. Yep. If nothing else, have a great evening. Until next time. Bye.